Hello, healthy mommies. Hope you all are doing well. Hello, if you're there, I'm sorry for starting a bit late. Please leave a comment so that I can acknowledge your presence before we start. If you're there, please do leave a comment. I can't see comments. Are you there, please? If you're around, okay. I can see Lady Juan. Thank you for being here. Lady Giselle Italia, thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here. You're welcome. So while we wait for our guest, it's Pink October and it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I'm just going to talk to us a bit about breast cancer. I've been trying to get to her with some issues, but while we try to reach her, I will just be telling you some information that you need to know about breast cancer and answering some common questions. I try to jot them on my other phone. So while we're waiting for our guests, I'm just going to be giving you some tips about breast cancer since it's Pink October. And we are doing an Inyango Pink Plank Challenge. Excuse me. If you've not joined us, let me try to explain that a little bit more before we get into the real reason why we're here. So on Inyango, we are doing a Pink Plank Challenge. Today is Friday, which is the 22nd. It's actually the second day or the third day. Today is 22nd, right? So it's the second day. We started on the 20th. And how we do this is we just wear something pink to signify the pink October or to signify breast cancer. And then you go down and do your plank. If you don't know how to do plank is just like you getting down in the push-up position and then straightening your body. If you don't know how to do it, I'm sure you must have seen on one of our posts recently of me doing it. So just check our post, you see how plank is done. So we are trying to do this Pink Plank Challenge to create awareness so that more mothers know about breast cancer and know that it is life-threatening, and actually remove the stigma which is attached to the disease, and just to help us to build a healthy lifestyle so that we can reduce our chances of having breast cancer. That is typically the reason why we are doing the 10 days Inyango Pink Plank Challenge. So on that note, I'm going to be answering some common questions on breast cancer while we wait for our guest. I hope she meets us on time, but if we don't meet her, I'll answer common questions of breast cancer, and that will be all about this particular live session. So the first question is, I try to jot some frequently asked questions, and the first one is, I think I know what a mammogram is, but I'm not 100% sure. Are you in that position as well? Like, you've heard about mammogram. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so you must have been hearing a lot of things about breast cancer. You've heard about mammogram and you don't actually know what it means. Thank you, Lady Vera. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Long story short, a mammogram is an X-ray of the breast. So it's actually to look at your tissues in your breast, and if you have some abnormal tissues, to just see the state of your breast. Now, there are two main types of mammograms. There is a screening mammography, that is how it's called, and a diagnostic mammography. A screening mammography is what you do for you to just check your breast, make sure that there are no cancerous cells, like a routine check that you can do. It's just a screening. But a diagnostic mammography is done when maybe you have felt a lump or you've seen some abnormalities in your breast, and they are doing this particular one. It's a deeper look. So I don't really know how to explain it, but it's like, let's take this for example. A screening mammography is like me looking at you from this distance, and then, excuse me, a diagnosis mammography is like me looking at you like this, like looking really closely and deeply to actually see if there's a problem. So that is the difference. There are two main types of mammography, or mammograms as we normally call it. The first one is the screening type, which is done just like a routine check to actually make sure that you don't have any cancerous cells. And the next one is the diagnostic mammography, which is to look closer at a breast problem to see if it is cancer or whatever, and to know how to solve it. So now, the next question is, how old do I have to be to have a mammography or a mammogram? So now, normally it is said that from 12 years above, ladies should have a mammography once every 2 years. But most times, you know, this in doing a mammography is like an X-ray. So there are these laser rays, the rays of light which gets to your body is not very good for you. And normally the age which most ladies get cancer is when they start getting towards 44, 45, like after the 40s. So this is the reason why most times they advise that you let it stay till you are like 44, 45 before you start doing your yearly. By the time you get to 44, 45, and you're getting close to your 50, like you're getting into menopause, that is when it is usually advised that you start doing a yearly mammogram, sorry, so that you are sure that is the age which most women are diagnosed with breast cancer, so that you're just on the safe side. Okay, so it's actually, you can do it from 12 and above every 2 years, but to be on the safe side, to avoid those rays of light on your body, it's better that you wait till maybe you're 40 plus to start doing your mammogram. That is once every 2 years. No, sorry, after 45 or 40, you do your mammogram after every year. Like every year you choose a particular date where you do it, right? So you have to make it a routine. So now, that was the second question. I will now go to the third one. The third, you're welcome. The third commonly asked question is, I've never had a mammogram before. Okay, I've answered that one already. Now, let me go to the question of I've never had a mammogram done before. When can I start? It's almost the same answer as how old do I have to be to start having a mammogram. So I'm going to go on to the next question. Does breast size affect your chances of breast cancer? Now, I've had this question a lot of times, that does breast size affect your chances of breast cancer? Actually, no. The straight answer is no. Your breast size, whether big or small, doesn't really increase your risk of having breast cancer. So whether you have big boobs or small boobs, you can have breast cancer. Most times breast cancer is linked to your lifestyle, right? To the things you do, the activities which you let yourself do. Welcome, Lady Jackie, and I saw somebody else, Lady Claudia. Thank you so much for joining. Now, the next question is, before I get to the next question, let me just emphasize a little more on this particular breast size issue. Now, you having a big breast or a small breast doesn't really affect your chances of having breast cancer. But now, there is a little issue here, because if your breasts are bigger, it might make your tissues denser, right? People who have smaller breasts who normally have lighter tissued breast, which will make it easy for maybe a tumor or a cancerous cell to be seen. But when you have big breasts, you can have dense tissues. Though there are still people who have their small boobs who have dense breast tissues, but having a bigger breast most times you are more likely to have denser breast tissues, right? Which can make it a little bit more difficult to see if you have cancerous cells. This is the reason why you have to always try to do your self-examination. I don't know if you watched the video. If you watch the video of self-examination, please leave a like, leave a comment, say yes. Did you watch the video? Did you do your self-examination? It's very, very important for you to do it. But while you're doing your self-examination, try as much as possible not to do it when you're on your period. Because when you're on your period, your breasts are really tender. You can feel something which is not actually there. And because of the changes that happen with your breast when you're on your period, you could see some changes in your breast which are not actually cancer. So it is very, very important that you do your breast examination about a week after your period when your hormones are okay and everything is fine. Thank you, Lady Claudia. Okay, I'm going to go now to the next question. How should I prepare for a mammogram? Now, the first thing that I said was that you shouldn't go for a mammogram when you're on your period, right? Or do your breast screening when you're on your period, because your breasts are tender, your hormones could be playing with your tissues around there, and then something might be seen which is not actually a problem. But for you to prepare, you just have to make up your mind and know that it's nothing too strange. It's not something painful. For example, cervical cancer screening is more intense and it's more scary. But breast cancer, you just have to take off your clothes. If you're someone who is maybe shy of male doctors, maybe you look for a female doctor who can run the screening on you. But for you to prepare yourself, you just have to know that it's like you're going to the hospital to do a normal test, okay? So don't be worried, everything is going to be fine. And keep your mind open. If you've been living a healthy life, do not worry about it. You're going to go there and you're not going to see anything. Some people make fun most times that people who are going to do, for example, HIV test every 3 months, one day they'll find what they are going to look for. But we have to understand that in most cases with our immunity, our human build-up, it is very important that for sicknesses, the earlier you diagnose it or the earlier you detect it, the better for you. Because looking at our hospital systems, if you're having an issue with your body and you don't detect it fast enough and you're going to the hospital, maybe when it has gotten to the stage where it is really bad, I bet you might die. Because our hospital systems are not that good. And most times we have, excuse me, most times we'll have doctors in one hospital and maybe you have a situation where it's an emergency and you have to go to another hospital. And you go to the other hospital and they don't have any of your history. For example, there are lots of cases where people with diabetes have gone to a particular hospital and then they put them glucose and then they just die, because putting a diabetic patient glucose will just increase the blood sugar to a level that they can no longer take. And if it's not handled on time, because they have not understood what particularly, like the person's medical history, that person might die just like that because of negligence and because of the kind of medical system that we have. In the States or abroad, it's better. In the more developed countries, it's better because they have systems that if you maybe go to one hospital and maybe they just type in your name, your history can easily come up and they can treat you based on the history that they have gotten. But in our country and in most African countries, you go to the hospital and you do tests and they don't even give you the test. Like they keep your file in the hospital, and if you're coming to take you have to leave your ID card before they'll give you the file for you to go and photocopy things. So all those things are things that can make it in a way that if it's a serious situation, I bet you no matter how much money you have, excuse me, you might lose a loved one. So we have to just try to always do our best to detect sicknesses as fast as possible, so it does not get to that point that maybe we are in a bad need of a doctor immediately, because around here you might not have it. And the sad thing is, even if, yes, you have a place where you can call the doctor and then the doctor will attend to you immediately, maybe things like traffic, things like bad roads, and a lot of other factors can still meet you on the way, which might just cause death. So it is very important that we just try as much as possible to always handle things before it gets too serious so that we are on the safe side. We can live only once and people can easily die from negligence. I'm seeing Lady Claudia saying something. All the male doctors, gynecologists that I've met are soft-spoken and kind. Yeah, that is true. That is very, very true. That's true. There are some few that, yeah, they are something else. There are always exceptions to everything, but most of them are very caring compared to the females. Women are always going through a lot of stress. I won't blame them for being so hard on their fellow women, but women are mostly going through a lot of things in their minds, and then they are trying to put themselves together, which might be the reason why they are usually so harsh. So let's try to understand where they are coming from. So let me go to the next question. Okay, the next question is, I'm getting my questions mixed up. Like when I'm reading from afar, it's just a problem and I don't want to hold my phone to my face. Is there anything I'm sorry for looking this way. Is there anything I should be aware of before going into my first mammogram? As we all know, it is important for us to do mammograms at our ages, like in our age group, say from 12 to probably 40, 45, 50. We should do mammograms once every 2 years. But to save yourself from going in for a mammogram, which entails the laser lights, which are not still good and can increase your chances of cancer, you can do your self-examination at home. But now here are some things which you should know before going for your first mammogram. Obviously, apart from the tips that I've mentioned above, there are some other things that you should do to avoid or to minimize discomfort. Most tests in the hospital are not very comfortable because they are not the normal process that you do. If you're doing your breast self-examination, you're just feeling your breast by yourself at home. So you might not feel so much discomfort. But when you have to put your breast into a machine, like all the linen and all the stuff, it might be uncomfortable. Now, here are some things that you should not do. Here are some don'ts. No deodorants. So do not put your deodorants on the day which you're going to do your mammogram, or antiperspirants. Do not use that. The second thing is no body lotion or powders. Okay. And it is important. The reason why they are saying no deodorants and antiperspirants is that we normally used to put those things on our armpits. And when you're doing your mammogram, they check right from up here, because cancerous cells can also build from up here. Like sometimes people feel those tumors from their armpits, so they check all through. So if you are putting something there, it might not just be good. So you shouldn't put your deodorant or antiperspirant. You should have no body lotion. And most times they even clean your breast with alcohol so that it's totally clean before they are doing the screening. Now, another thing you have to remember is to wear loose clothes, because you're obviously going to take off your clothes. You don't want to wear something which by the time you get there, you're going to start struggling. Please unzip my dress, or I can't wear something like this if I'm going for a breast screening. You want to wear maybe a kaba or something which is loose that you can easily just take off and do your screening, and up you go. Now, you have to also understand that you should remove all your jewelry. For most of the screenings that they are doing, for most x-rays and all other screenings, they will normally tell you to remove all your jewelries. If you're wearing glasses, you have to remove them for that time. Take off all your jewelries. So now, those are some things that you shouldn't do. I'll take the things again. The first one, no deodorants or antiperspirants. The second one, no body lotions or powders. The third one, wear loose clothes so you can easily just take off your clothes and get into your mammogram and do your breast screening, and also remove all jewelry. So you can go with your jewelry, but try to put on simple jewelry that you can easily take off as well. Now, I'm getting a question from Lady Claudia. She says, please, Lady Larissa, could you enlighten us a bit on breast mass? Okay, I'm going to talk about that in a bit. The next question is, are mammograms safe? This is a complicated question because most times doctors will tell you mammograms are 100% safe. But as we all know, too much of anything, no matter how good it is, can make it bad. Okay? So mammograms actually use a certain type of radiation which cannot cause cancer, but radiation, even from sun rays, which is natural, is not good for our bodies in the long run. So if you are going out in the sun, it's good you use sunscreens and you try to avoid sunlight when it's at its peak between 10 to 2 p.m. or 12 p.m. That's when the sun is at its peak. So it's important that you just avoid the sun. That is when it has the highest radiation. So you should try to avoid it. Now, also, to do mammograms, they use radiation, but they try to make it as safe as possible. So the mammogram, the radiation used on mammograms is really safe. But if they are telling you to do mammograms once every year or once after every 2 years, it is because if you do mammograms maybe every month, there are going to be some after effects. So no matter how good anything is, it can as well turn bad. Okay, I think I've answered all the questions I put down to answer. I'm going to think of other questions or search online for other questions so that we can get to understand more about breast cancer, so that we just know about it more and it can help us to fight it and stay safe so that we don't suffer from it, our female children don't suffer from it. We are meant to get breast cancer sometimes. Our sons don't suffer from it and all. Okay, Lady Claudia asked about breast mass. Let me talk about breast mass. Now, your breast mass is not something which you can feel by touching your breast, okay? Your breast mass is not something that you can feel with touching. A minute, please. I'm trying to, our guest is calling. Oof. Seems that internet is not so good. Please, just a minute. Okay, now, oh, okay, Lady Claudia said breast mass. I was explaining about breast density. I'm sorry about that. Now, breast mass or lumps or anything that you can feel inside your breast, right? It could be caused from many other things. That is why on our breast self-examination video, I mentioned that if you have a lump, right, do not be so scared. This is when you actually go for the diagnostic mammography that will actually determine if that is actually a mass, which is a cancerous mass, or coming from something else, okay? So you just have to try to do your self-examination. There are different types of masses which can be caused by many different things. Like, it's a whole topic to be talked about. I'll try to maybe do another video on that, maybe next week. I'm already out of time and I'm not seeing any possibility of getting our guest for today. Maybe she's going to join us some other time. But breast mass and different types of lumps is a topic which I'm going to talk about on a whole other day because it's a whole big topic on its own. So please, Lady Claudia, I'm going to do a video on that, and probably not a live video, because live videos are usually long, because I want women to understand all about breast masses and the different types of lumps and the other things that can cause these lumps. I'll try to do it on a video on its own, a shorter video, so that you can get all the information you need to get from it. But for now, I really do not want to make up to 25 minutes here without our guest. I think I've answered some pertinent questions which you should know about mammogram, because a lot of women are afraid of these things. Like when you just hear the big name, you're like, should I really go for this? And most times they're a little bit expensive. But now, one other question which I mostly get, which I myself have asked a lot of times, is where can I do a mammogram, right? In different towns in Cameroon, not every hospital has those machines, but one hospital which I know in Yaoundé that has the machine is Cathedral. I'm sorry, this is like a publicity I'm doing for them, but it is one very good hospital that has most of the machines which you want to do tests on. So Cathedral has a machine to do your breast screening. That's your mammogram. And I think most government hospitals have it as well. I'm not too sure about other towns, but most government hospitals have it because there are machines which are expensive, and most times private clinics might not have it. And one other point which I would like you ladies to know is, as it is always said, early detection saves lives. Like breast cancer is something which you might have the feeling, thank you so much. There is an, okay. Wow. Please, if you know anyone, just drop it in the comment section, okay? If you know any other place which maybe in your town, you know any other hospital which can actually do the breast screening, there are lots of breast screening going on now for free. Like Gineco is doing one presently till the end of October. So if you're in Yaoundé and you want to do it, you can check. There are just lots of breast screenings going on now for free. And I was saying that for most women, when the thought of breast cancer comes to mind, it's just like fear that comes to mind. It's okay to be afraid of it, but your fear shouldn't make you not to examine yourself, because it's very, very important that you examine yourself, you know your status, as in you just try to dictate it as fast as you can. Let me give you ladies some good vibe so that you're seeing me well, though it's the end. So it's very good that you do your screening by yourself at home, right? So that before you get to the doctor, and try as much as possible. Wow, that's great. My one hospital too has it in Limbe. If you're in Limbe, my one hospital is actually doing mammography, so you can go there to do your breast cancer screening. Wow, that's great to know. I didn't know my one has. I'm concentrating on my own town. Thank you so much for the information you're sharing in the comment section. If you know any other one, please. Oncology. Did I pronounce it rightly? Oncology. I hope I pronounced that rightly. If I didn't, please, maybe you transcribe so that I pronounce better. Cameroon Oncology Center in Bonaberi, Douala. Thank you so much, Lady Claudia, for that very, very important information. Thank you, Lady Lisette Inanga, for the important information as well. So in Limbe, my one hospital has it. In Bonaberi, Cameroon Oncology Center has it. In Yaoundé, Ginacor, that is one I know, and Cathedral have it. I'm sure there are many other hospitals in Yaoundé which should have it. So our fear should not make us to not do what is right. If you're so afraid of breast cancer, you should screen yourself, do your breast examination from time to time so that you know your status and you can determine fast enough if maybe there is a lump or some other thing. But please don't be so scared of lumps, because a lot of things can cause lumps. So if it's a lump, don't panic. The first thing you should do is calm down, talk to your gynecologist, or your doctor should refer you to someone that you should talk to. Okay, because if you panic, you might maybe stay home a longer time thinking of what to do while the case is getting more serious. So let's do what we have to do. Tell our little girls around about breast cancer. Just make ourselves as informed as possible about breast cancer so that we can stay safe. We can get it off our chest, okay? So I couldn't get to our guest for today. She tried calling, but her internet seems to be bad because I couldn't even get her on a WhatsApp call. So I couldn't get her today. But I hope she could join us some other time. It was so nice spending time with you. It's always a pleasure spending time with you, ladies. And that will be all for today. I answered some questions about mammography. If you have other questions, please leave it in the comment section. If you have something which you want our guests to learn about, or you have something which you think mothers can learn about, or you want to share your motherhood experience, you can obviously write in our inbox and we'll give you a chance. If you think you know much about breast cancer as well, on our next live session, I could host you and you teach us mothers about what you know. Because most times when dealing with breast cancer, everyone is looking at the nurses, the doctors, and everything, but there are just as many doctors and nurses out there. If we can educate ourselves as mothers, imagine as a mother that I have 3 people at home. No, actually 4. So if I know anything about breast cancer and they're talking about breast cancer, or anybody at home asks me about breast cancer, I can give them some information which can help them. But now, if all of us are looking to maybe a nurse or a doctor, there are not so many doctors and nurses who can always tell us these things. So we have to try to always educate ourselves. Excuse me, and just try to know a little about the essential things which we need to know. So that will be all for today. Stay pink. It's Pink October. Do your pink plank challenge. If you've not joined us, please make sure to join us. It's just a minute, right? Get active, avoid chemicals as much as you can, and just live a healthy lifestyle. And I'm sure you'll be able to push cancer far, far away from you and far, far away from everyone around you, your generation, because cancer is also hereditary. So that will be all for today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lady Jackie. Let me just acknowledge the people who are around. Thank you so much, Lady Jackie. Thank you so much, Lady Claudia. Thank you, Lady Lizette Inanga. Thank you, who else? Lady Vera. Thank you. Who else? Lady Joanne. Thank you, Lady Giselle Itale, for joining. Thank you all for joining, and do have a blessed evening. If you have any more questions, please don't forget to send them. Okay, we'll be answering them as time goes on. These questions came from some mothers, and I would love to get your own questions. I already have one from Lady Claudia, which I'm going to work on. Any other questions, please leave them in the comments or just send them to our Inyango inbox, and I'll be sure to answer them. Do have a beautiful day, and God bless you. Hey, who is there? Okay, I still see 5 people on the live. I was just about ending and I realized our guest is here. I apologize on her behalf for being here at this time. I guess she was caught up in something, but I'm going to add her now and we are just going to listen to what she has for us. I still see 4 people online. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to add her now. Hello. I can't see her on video. So our guest is here. I hope our internet is not disturbing. Oh my. And internet in Africa says no. I pray that she can join us soon enough. Her internet is still disturbing. She's struggling to join us. Let's just wait for her a little more. And before, who's calling? Okay. Give me a minute. Let me speak to her. Yeah. What's going on? Your internet seems to be disturbing. Okay, I'm sorry I had to mute that, but she'll be with us in a minute. Like, it's been a roller coaster day for her, and I'm just so grateful that she could even actually make it here right now. So please just give her a minute to join us. Now, before I get to start her questions, let me take a look. I'm so sorry for wasting your time today, but with mothers, you just have to be patient with us. There is always a lot going on. So please be patient with her. Is this okay? Yeah, it's the same link. Okay. She'll be with us in a minute, please. Okay. So actually, let me tell you a little bit about our guest while we wait for her to join us. I hope she can actually join us. So I was going through Lady Pay's profile, her Instagram, and what got me so much, apart from the fact that she has done a lot of things in life, and she makes very good use of her social media, as she posts things which could really help her in future, because the content which she posts on her social media are things which will make you to know a lot about her and just admire her for the lady she is. Like, wait, for some of us, I don't want you to laugh, okay? For some of us, right, our brows have been bad. Like, I look at her brows from her pictures in 2015 and they were on point. And I'm like, this lady, some of us were drawing lines. She's here. Let me try to add her. Hello.
Hi.
On your microphone.
My mic. Okay. Please let me
It's
check that.
actually muted now. I don't know why I can get you. Just speak. Let me see if I can get you. Oh my gosh, she left again. She's just such a wonderful person. Like, going through her profile, like I was saying, I was looking at her pictures and I'm like, this lady, her brows were on flick from 2015. And I realized that this one is a real makeup artist, apart from all the other things that she does. Hello.
Can you get me? Hi. Are you getting me now?
I don't know why.
Wow. I don't know why. I'm checking my mic.
Do you have a headset?
Yes, I have an earpiece.
Do you have a headset?
Yeah.
Plug it, and try to use it.
Okay, where's my bag?
Let me just take you off first. Let me take her off so you don't see her getting a little bit worried about everything. You know, normally we would like everything to go on well. So when things are getting a little bit out of hand, we get a little frustrated, which is very normal. So I'll add her when she's looking all good and fine, right? So as I was saying, I was going through this lady's profile and I was checking things and I'm looking at her pictures. Like, she's so nicely branded. She has branded herself so well, and I admire that about her. Like, her makeup is out of this world. I know she has a bridal shop, but I didn't know she was that good with makeup as well. Okay, let me try to add her. It seems she has an earpiece. Oh my God. And she left again. I'm seeing her so clearly on my side, but I don't know why we are getting complications with. Oh, she's on Instagram. She's Bernice Mpe. That is B. Let me write it down first before I'm spelling crazy stuff. Okay. On Instagram, her personal account is Bernice Mpe. On Facebook, she's Ayok Bernice. The Bernice spelled sorry, let me take that again. BERNICS. So she's on, her video is loading. Let me see if I can add her. Okay, she's here now. I really hope we can hear her now. So I was saying on Instagram, she's Bernice Mpe, spelled as BERNICEMPEY. But she has another page. Her business page is Boam. Anyway, she's going to tell you about that. She's here.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
And I can't still get her. So let me see if I remove my... Wait. I think the problem is me. It's okay.
Okay.
My volume was at 0. My volume was at 0 because of the kids. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Thank you so much for being here.
Today, this evening has been crazy. Oh my God. I know. I'm so sorry for my lateness. I was in a situation.
It's okay. We understand. Life happens sometimes. So that is the amazing Mrs. Bernice Kima. Okay. That is our updated name. Before she was. Your names are many. Ashu Ayok Bernice. I got it right?
Yeah, you got it right.
She's a Bayangi girl. I'm a Bayangi girl by matrimony. and I'm Bayangi from my mother's side. Yeah, okay. So we're sisters. So thank you so much for joining. Somebody was asking for your handles. I was talking about your makeup, your handles, your social media handles. So maybe you just give them before we get into your questions for the day.
All right. On Instagram, I'm Boam. Beauty with Ayuty. Beauty, BEAUTY, WITHAYUKMPEY. So beauty with Ayuty. So if you just write Boam Cameroon, you see me.
I'm trying to type it in as you're speaking.
Pardon?
I hope I got it right. As I'm trying to type it in as you're speaking, beauty with Ayok Mpe. Yeah, I think I got it right. That is.
I think my business profile is green girl with a green dress.
Yeah. I saw that. I'm sure you already saw that I flooded your Instagram with likes.
Trust me, today has been a very busy day. I've barely been on my phone, so.
Okay, I'm just going to go on with the questions we have for you. The first thing would be for you to tell us about yourself. Tell
All
us
right.
about you, what you do. In fact, sell yourself, Auntie.
I'm shy. I'm shy. Anyway, Bernie Kima. So I'm 28 years. I recently in July I just got the master's in environmental engineering,
Wow.
and I'm a makeup artist, and I also deal with fascinators, bridal stuff, bridal
Okay.
plans, gowns, all of that. So there I am.
Okay. That's a lot. Like you're doing so much, and that's great. I like when women are involved in a lot of things. So I hope the person who asked for her handles got them. You should check her out. She's a
Oh,
wonderful
okay.
makeup artist, I have to say.
Blessing.
Like I looked at your profile and looking at the fact that from 2015, like your eyebrows were like, can you see my eyebrows now? Like
No,
my
you actually.
2021 eyebrows are your eyebrows from 2015 when some of us were drawing lines. And I'm like,
Oh my
this
God.
girl
Well,
is a makeup
and now
artist
I
compared.
still feel like I'm getting just right.
So it's just wonderful. Okay,
Thank you.
let me just chip in a little question inside of this. How long have you been
Okay.
in the makeup business and the bridal fascinator thing?
Ooh, makeup has been like 6 years, I think 5, 6 years, I think. Fascinators has been like 2 years, but it's actually lately that I actually make fascinators myself.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, so
Okay, now on to our next question.
all right.
How old is your baby? Please let's get a little bit inside. How old is your baby and how do you manage work and take care of your family? Like how do you manage all the stress and all the work which is supposed to be done?
It's a little challenging, I won't lie, but my baby, she turned 1 year yesterday. So yesterday was actually her birthday.
Happy birthday to
So
her.
thank you. But we're actually celebrating tomorrow Saturday,
Okay.
So my baby is 1 year. How have I been balancing business and everything and everything? Well, honestly, it's just there's no that I have around me. There's no that I have around me. So I have my family. I have my amazing in-laws. I have a nanny too. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
so I have a nanny. So usually, she lives at home.
Okay. You live in
So
Nani.
yeah, I have a living nanny. So with all my work and everything, sometimes I have makeup that I have to travel out of town and stuff. So usually, if I want to travel out of town, I'll just send my nanny and my baby to either my in-laws place or my family or like there's somewhere that the family can go just because I don't want to stress my husband at home, going to work and stuff.
Okay.
And yeah, that's how I've managed it. So if I'm not that they cannot stay at home, it's just easier. Like if I'm
Yes.
leaving town, if I'm leaving town, I just take it as an opportunity for the baby to spend time with other family members.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was going to school too. When I gave birth, 2 weeks after I had to continue my master's. Yeah, I was reading with my second year of my master's program. So, and
Okay.
you know how the second year is so tight. I
Yeah.
used to leave home. I used to leave home at 8 a.m. and be coming home around this time. If traffic doesn't keep me on the road till like 8 p.m. So that's it. That's it.
Wow. That's actually a good plan because it's not just helping you to have time to do your work. It actually also gives other family members opportunity to meet and the child to also know the other people in the family. So I think I like that.
Yeah.
So for question number 3, do you feel like you know what you're doing at this stage of motherhood? Like normally motherhood could be there are lots of times which it's mostly try by error
Yeah.
because it's not something you've done before, especially for first time moms. So do you feel like at this age of your baby, like your baby is 1 year old, do you feel like you know everything you're doing? You feel so confident that with what you're doing, you know everything you're doing?
Honestly, right, I don't think any mom really confidently feels that she knows everything. But I think at this point in my life, I think I'm on the right path.
Yeah.
Because naturally, I'm a very organized person. I like things done in a particular way. You know, I like keeping my house in order. I like keeping my clothes in order, everything in order. Like I'm almost an order freak. So I think that yes. So I think mentally, when I feel like okay, my house is clean, my food is I've cooked food, the baby's things are orderly, the baby has this and has this. It mentally makes me feel like okay, everything is in order. I'm getting it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So um most of the times, since I try to get things really orderly in that manner, it keeps me at the right frame of mind. Okay, I'm doing this right.
Okay.
I think there was a time. I think there was a time when I think when I was still going to school, you know, um, when I was still going to school, I used to have this feeling of, oh, I'm spending so much time out of the house, and I'm a
Yeah,
bad
that
mom.
guilt. Yeah, that
Yes,
guilt.
I used to have mom guilt a lot. I used to have mom guilt a lot. Like this is me trying to do everything right. I'm trying to be orderly, taking care of my husband, taking care of myself. But I still had that feeling, that mom guilt of no, what kind of mom are you that you're doing that in school and you come back at 8 p.m., you know? But I don't know. After a while, I reminded myself, I love myself and I can do this. And I got
Yeah,
over it. So that
that's
at this
nice.
point, I feel like I'm doing things the right way.
Okay. As you said, no mother can actually say that they are confident 100% about what they're doing. But the best thing to have, or the best emotion to have, is that confidence in yourself that you're going the right way because you're putting things in order, which is great. Now,
Yep.
on to question number 4. What's the most challenging thing about motherhood at this age? Like the 1 year milestone, what's the most
Oh,
challenging thing about it?
anyway, for me, I think I came to realize that I think even from the moment I got pregnant, I realized that it's not only always going to be about me now. Yes, like I realized early that that part of me that didn't have a child is gone. You know, I knew that I will never, never have it back.
And it's so sad.
I knew, yeah, I knew that I would never have it back. So I was like, oh, okay, that part is gone. Another me
It's
to
been
emerge.
born.
Yeah. So I think that was just a hard pill to swallow.
Okay, so according to you, the most challenging part of motherhood was accepting the fact that it's not going to be just about you anymore.
Yes.
And I love that you understood that early, because that's one thing that causes a lot of problems for most mothers. It caused the problem
Yeah.
for me because it was difficult for me to adapt to the fact that okay, you're not going to be going out when you want. Everything is going to be about the babies.
About the
So
baby. Yeah.
if you have to go out and then they are sick, you have to cancel that program. If you
You
have to
have
do
to come
something
back.
and then maybe something comes up with the kids, it's cancelled. And for you to have accepted that particular thing early is
Yeah.
something which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, now on to question number 5. What surprised you most about motherhood at this age? Like, what's one thing that you discovered when your baby was getting to the 1 year milestone that surprised you most?
I think I used to encourage myself every month or at baby brain, like it's going to get better.
Yeah, it gets
but
better.
but trust me, right? I don't think that it to get better is what we have to say.
I like this part. Go on.
I think that what we have to say is this stage is over because
Another one is coming.
because every stage now has its own wahala, honestly. Because okay, see, like from the beginning, when the baby is just always either sleepy, she either just sleeps and wakes up and eats and does that. Then she moves now to the stage where she's going to be crying, maybe too colicky and stuff. Then the next stage will come when the baby always wants to just go down and creep and
You're
just scatter
scattering everything.
everything. And it got to a stage where she starts really noticing people around and refusing for people to carry her, wanting for you to carry her. Um, Funny enough, like I've been really struggling to get her out of breast milk. Like it's last night, two nights ago, the night before her birthday, that I successfully stopped breastfeeding.
Oh my.
Yes, it was that bad. Like I did my 6 months exclusive breastfeeding. Then I was trying to take her off breast milk completely, and it was a disaster. Complete disaster. Complete. Like she wake up at night. I'm telling you, it was crazy. So I think that's the part of it will get better was the whole big lie. It's a scam. It doesn't get better. You just move from one stage to the other.
I like how honest you are with this.
Yeah,
Seriously, it doesn't get better.
it
You just
doesn't.
have to adapt at every age, at every stage, because every
Yeah,
stage comes with its own different thing, as you just said. Like
yeah,
when I gave birth, the thing I had in my mind is, we always just think that when a baby gets to 1 year, they are big. They'll start doing things on their
yes.
own. Like my baby's you are waiting for the 1 year milestone. Do you know that by 1 year my kids were not walking? Twins. And in my mind,
Can
I'm
you
like,
imagine?
why did they tell us that 1 year child is big? Like, what's this? And I got
For
so worried
me,
because of
like
what.
I think my sister's kids, my sister has 4 kids. So before I even got married or had a baby, I used to take care of my sister's kids, like three, two of them. So I already knew that I know this thing and I know some milestones. Before my sister's kids, the girl child, when she turned 8, was already walking. So this is my baby 2 weeks ago. She wasn't walking. Then I'm like, girl, you need to walk. If you don't walk, I'm going to use your birthday as my pre-birthday party. And and it's last week that she actually started taking I think like 3 weeks ago she was doing like 2 steps. Is last week that she's actually even walking, taking more steps. So all of that kind of challenge stuff.
Yeah, I think most times we just have to listen to more experiences from other mothers, because
True.
there is no particular formula to how a baby will grow. Every baby is different. So if we can just listen to more stories. For
Yeah.
example, I realized that a lot of mothers struggle with breastfeeding. And on the Nyango WhatsApp group, I had to teach them how to take the baby off breastfeeding. For my
Yeah.
babies, it was really easy, but most mothers will have issues. They will just want to wait. Okay, I'll stop my baby from breast milk at 6 months, and then they are waiting for that 6 months day to just stop giving the
Yeah.
baby, and then they expect that the baby will just take the milk, and then maybe you try
You
and your
know,
breast gets
yeah.
swollen, baby is crying and everything. So
Yeah,
we
you
more we love
the
listening to more
breastfeeding thing.
experiences.
Yeah, the breastfeeding thing is really like it really depends on the mother. And
Yeah.
for me, like I am used to really educating myself really much before I got pregnant. And when I was pregnant, I was always reading articles and watching videos, learning about the whole breastfeeding thing. And I've also learned from my sister. With 4 kids, trust me, I learned a lot. So in my mind, even like with the breastfeeding thing, I knew that okay, from 6 months I will maybe start reducing
Yeah.
the number of times. I was doing that. But this girl will cry. This girl will cry, and somebody will think that I've kidnapped somebody's baby. She will cry, I even went to the extent of not breastfeeding her in the day, then maybe like just
Just
breastfeeding
at
her at
night.
night. Yes, she's a baby that when she's with me, she will wake up like 7 times. If she loves me too much that night, she will do 4 times. So she wake up the 4 times. I'll breastfeed her the 4 times after a while. I was thinking that okay, I'll reduce from 4 times to three. But when you try to reduce, she'll wake up and she'll cry. So all this while you can imagine the breastfeeding thing. Even when I don't want to breastfeed her, she'll scream and pull my dress, and it's really hard. Every baby
Yeah,
is really different when it comes to the whole breastfeeding thing. So
yeah. Do you know what somebody said in the comment section? She said, "Your baby is my
yeah.
baby."
Like my baby now, she's not
She's saying that it's like her baby is behaving the same way your baby is behaving right now.
yeah. Like it's bad. Like since I left her 2 weeks ago, I left her at my in-laws' place. So I'm like, this is the right time for me to stop this. I went and took her now. The first night, 2 nights ago, she was so mad. She was so mad. She cried for like 1 hour. I didn't
Oh
still
my
give her
god.
anything. But my man, like, no, no pass. 1 year, this girl cannot be more than 1 year. I'm breastfeeding her. Yesterday, she cried for maybe like 30 minutes. At least it's gotten better, and I really don't want to. And the other challenge for me, I don't know what happened to you, but even when you were trying to stop breastfeeding, it's like when you carry the baby, their boobs, your breast just call the baby like, come to me, like come to me, like come, mommy is here, come and eat. Like it's crazy. This whole thing is crazy. Oh,
I just feel like with motherhood, we just need enough guardians. We need
yeah,
somebody to share our issues with, somebody who can reassure you, even if
yeah,
yes, maybe sometimes the advices will not work, but having somebody whom you can share your issues with, the person makes you understand that it's normal. I also went through this thing, and maybe this is
yeah.
what you can do, and this and that.
And just try
It's
this,
perfect.
it might work.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, a word from another mother is so comforting.
yeah,
So now
true.
on to the next question. I liked this question. It made me laugh a lot. Now on to the next question. Oh, this one is a very emotional one. What do
Oh
you
my.
appreciate most about being a mother?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Every day, I think that maybe from the beginning, every day the appreciation changes almost every time. You know, from the onset, just the feeling of the fact that I could bring life. God, it's
It makes you
it,
feel so special.
yes, it makes me feel so special. And one of the things that makes me feel so special about motherhood too is I'm like, I gave birth to a human, and I almost feel like myself again, you know? Yes. And many a times, I think the main thing that keeps me going through, and whenever I have any confronting thing like a challenge or a problem, even like in the whole marriage thing, when I look at my baby, when I look at my baby, I tell myself that this thing that I want to stress about is not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Trust me. Like there's something that when I think about her or when I look at her, it just makes me look at life different. It just tells me that hey, chill. Like it's not worth it. It's not gonna help you. This girl needs you more than this thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that for me that
Wow. Like motherhood is so beautiful. Though it comes
yeah,
with a lot of
okay.
challenges, motherhood is just beautiful. I can still remember the day I was told that I'm carrying twins. My God, it was like I should skip out of my body.
Oh my
like,
God.
like words cannot really explain how
I
happy
know,
I was.
right? Do you know
Like,
that I was praying to have twins? I was praying to have twins. Oh. But honestly, now like this, when I look at my baby, I'm like, Jesus, only you like this. Two, I could have not been able.
That's the thing. A lot of mothers pray to have twins. A lot of first-time mothers pray to have twins. But sincerely, if God asks me, if God looks down from heaven and asks me, my daughter, I'm sending you twins again, I'm going to tell him, God, please don't play. Don't play that kind of play. Don't joke like that. I don't want. It's so difficult
So
taking
please,
care of
I still
twins.
want my
But
twins, so I want the next ones to be twins, please.
be praying, be praying. Don't worry. I'm handing you
I'm
the
already,
mantle.
I am already fasting, please. Those twins have to come. One boy,
But
one girl to be specific.
exactly what I have. So I'm handing you the mantle. Don't worry, it's done.
I
With twins, it's
receive
just
your
it's double the work, double the fun, double the joy. It's just everything's just double. It's
blessing.
beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay. While I was talking to you the other day in our short
Yeah,
conversation, you said something about being depressed. So when
yeah.
did you realize you were depressed and how did you come out of it? Can you tell us a little bit about that story?
For the depression part, I think from the moment I got pregnant, there's this thing that happened to me. I was happy the fact that I had the like, hey, I'm pregnant. Very happy about that part. But there's another part that saddened me. I was used to having my previous body. One, I was used to being do many things. Yes, now I still do many things, but before I do more things. Travel easily, do a million businesses in 1 minute, and do many things at the same time. I think from the moment I got pregnant, I had to cry out that old me. I legit had to cry. I legit had to, when I play from work, I do my hotel, I'll cry, then I go home.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think at that moment I had to cry for like 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, I was over it. I was over the crying, and I think the crying made me to accept that okay, the new you has to begin from now. Then I think the next depression hit me when I was like 8 months. I had a really smooth and joyful pregnancy, no stress. I was cool. But I think around 8 months or 8.5 months, I got tired. Like I just woke up one night and I was crying. I don't know why I was crying. I'm usually not that emotional to be crying for no reason. And I woke up and I was crying and I was texting one of my friends. I'm like, I'm tired of this baby. Like, you should just come. I'm really tired. I don't feel like myself anymore. This is like, I don't even know I was crying. My husband tried to console me. I was not hearing. I was just crying. I cried that whole night. Then the next day I was laughing at myself. I'm like, okay, this is really one of those pregnancy things. Because I really don't know what I was feeling, you know, like everything just happened. Even when I gave birth, I think at some point, maybe like 2 months or 1 month after I gave birth, I wanted to do something. I forgot what I wanted to do, but I realized I could not do it. The baby was there. Like I'm like, I just started crying. I'm like, why can't I do what I want to do? This baby is here now. I need to think. I need to do this. I need to leave her in the house. I didn't have a nanny right away. I had a nanny like 2 months after. Yeah, so those first 2 months were really hard. You couldn't do. I couldn't do any other thing. I needed to, if I want to do something, I need to carry her on my back. She would be crying. She was not a calm baby at all. She was not a calm baby at all. She was all over the place, always crying. Calling was crazy on her. So all of that really just threw me into a deep depression. I wasn't feeling myself. I wasn't feeling beautiful anymore. With the body changes and the stretch marks, I was always telling my husband, like, babe, look at me, look at my chest, look at this. Like, there's nothing wrong with you. I'm like, no, there's something wrong. Look at my body. Like, look at my body. He'll be like, there's nothing wrong. I'm like, no, there's nothing wrong. You're going to be telling that there's nothing wrong. So all of those things, it took me it took me like 4 months to accept my body, you know. And from the moment where I started accepting my body, things started really just changing. I started feeling beautiful again. My body was getting better. And I started getting comfortable with myself. I started appreciating my new curve. Yeah. Yeah. But it was not easy, but here we are.
Yeah. And what I can take from your journey is the fact that most times these things are mental, right?
Yes.
Yes, maybe your body actually changes. Yes, your body actually changes after you give birth. But if you can just accept the fact that, okay, this is my new life and adapt. I like
Yes.
adaptability so much because in motherhood, one thing which every woman needs to master is adaptability, like know how
Mm.
to adapt to the different things that come to you. And
Yep.
also, I think the fact that your baby was crying so much played with your mind in the sense that probably it made you to feel like maybe you're not being a good mother enough. Like the
And I
baby's
couldn't
crying, they
talk.
cannot tell you why
Yeah.
you're crying. Yes, and
Yes.
all those, and you feel like, but if I'm doing this right, then she shouldn't be crying like this. Like she should be
True.
calm and loving and laughing and all that. So I feel those are some factors. And sadly enough, those are things that make a lot of mothers to get into depression. Like when I speak to mothers every day, I realize that a lot of them are depressed, but they don't even know because the
True.
African society they don't see that as anything. They feel like you have given birth, you should be okay, and everybody's asking about the baby and forgetting about you.
About you.
Yeah.
I think that with the whole depression thing, I knew the moments where I was depressed because
Hmm.
I'd been studying, I'd been learning, I'd been educating myself about what happens after
Hmm.
you give
After the
birth.
pregnancy, yeah.
I came to stumble on many videos on YouTube about postpartum depression.
Depression, yeah.
So when I was in those things, even the fact that I knew that, hey, I'm feeling like this, or I'm feeling like this, I'm feeling this guilt, is because this is just postpartum depression. Funny enough, I
Yes.
didn't know that I would go through it because in my mind, I thought, hey, I've learned about this thing, I will
Yeah.
be
So
able
so
to
you
feel
cannot,
it
yeah.
coming. But it came, it still came. It still came. It's just that with the knowledge I had, it helped me to go through it like very effortlessly. Even,
Hmm.
but it still helped me not to go through it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's one thing that sounded a bit like worrisome, but I liked it. The fact that you said when you got pregnant, you had to cry your way to accepting the fact that your life is changing.
Yes.
Because some people would be feeling that way, and then they'll be like, no, nothing is going on. I'm strong, I'm fine. And then they don't face it, and then it gets more serious. The fact that you actually had to take a step to just cry it out. Sometimes I used to cry a lot. I actually used to cry a lot. But as I talk to mothers every day and I have to be some kind of role model to a lot of the mothers, I realize I'm getting stronger and stronger every day.
And every day,
But
yeah.
sometimes I encourage mothers to cry. If you feel like crying, cry. Because maybe
Right.
there are some things that you need to see, there are some emotions which you need to let out, which
True.
that crying might just be blocking your brain, blocking your eye. Cry it out. You're
Right
going to
out.
feel you're going to feel better, you're going to feel calmer, and you're going to just be better. So that was a great move. Though wow, 2 weeks of crying was a lot of crying.
I had
Sorry
to
about
cry.
that.
I
And I'm
had
sure
to
your husband
cry.
didn't know you were doing that.
No, you did it. I'm sure he watches this. You'll be like, oh my God, this girl, are you really crying? I'm sure he will just laugh.
Motherhood
Because
happens sometimes, life happens, and things just have to
I
go the way they
know, I
go.
know.
Okay, so for question number 8, what
Yep.
advice do you have for mothers to be out there? As a mother yourself, what advice can you give to a mother to be out there? Somebody who is maybe yet to get married, from yet to get married, young girls, pregnant, what advice can you give them to help them go through motherhood?
I think that you have to know you have to know that the baby is an individual or will be an individual, and you too are an individual. So no matter how much you're trying to take care of the other individual, make sure that every day you do something for yourself.
I love that advice.
So
I
like for me,
love that
yeah,
advice.
like for me, um, I'm somebody that I'm used to taking time maybe to do my evening facial routine, just take that time to make sure that I cleanse my face well before I sleep or have a really nice bath before I sleep. So when I gave birth, it was a little difficult. And most of the time when I want to bathe, the baby will be crying, then you have to hurry to bathe, then you have to go and meet the baby. But from the moment where I told myself that, hey, every day I need to make sure that I have that 30 minutes at least. I'll enter the bath, I'll take time to bathe, I'll do my face, I'll scrub my skin, or do a scrub. I dress up, I smell nice, sleep. It keeps me really sane. Just make sure that there's one thing that you should keep doing. If you
Mhm.
are somebody that likes doing your hair before you got pregnant, whatever, you like doing your hair every month. Make sure that every month you do your hair, or make sure that you do your nails, or you go to a spa and wash your feet. Like do something for yourself, or buy something for yourself. Make sure that every month you do something for yourself that is not about the baby. Because I think that most of the times we get so engulfed in the whole motherhood journey that you will not even brush your hair, oh. You will not even do your small younger. You will not even do your nails. Even you, maybe you are somebody that you used to like to go wash your feet. You stop. So I just think that for me, that's what us that's what helps me every day. Do something for yourself every day. Give yourself your time. Give yourself 30 minutes. That this time is for me. And everybody around you has to understand that. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for that wonderful advice. To put it in very short words, you are an individual and your baby is an individual. So do not forget about
Yep.
yourself while
Yep.
taking care of your baby.
Yep.
What I like to tell mothers is it depends, your baby's health or well being depends on you as a mother. If you are sick, your baby will not have good food to eat because maybe the person who is taking care of the might not take care of the baby like you. So for you to be there for your baby as much as you want to be, you first of all have to be okay as a person. Your mental
True.
health, your physical health, and everything around you has to be okay. So thank you so much for that beautiful advice. I hope the mothers jot it down somewhere. Just keep it behind their minds. Okay. Question number 9. What is the biggest lesson you've learned so far from motherhood?
I've learned that the way you want the way you want your child, the kind of person you want your child to be in future depends on you.
Wow.
And
I like how nicely you put it. Yeah, go on, I'm listening.
it depends on you. But I've also learned that I cannot control everything. I cannot control everything about a baby. Kids, kids, no matter how you're going to try to guide them, but they're going to reach a certain stage in future, that you cannot do anything about it. So the lesson I've learned so far is I do my best to make this bundle of joy to be somebody in future that I want to be proud of. That hey, this mine, this ours. That and I've also accepted the fact that I cannot control everything
Yeah.
about that person. I can only guide.
For me, the way I usually put it is because mothers, this is one thing which most mothers don't understand. which is the reason why at times daughters-in-law will suffer, because
Yeah.
you're trying to control your child from when the child is small, and then
Yep.
you want to control the child all the way. You want to determine what that child becomes. You want to determine who that child marries. You want to determine
What they
everything.
study, all of
Yes.
that.
But if we understand that we are just there, like how the gardener and the seed are, God
True.
has given us the babies like seeds. What that seed will grow into, He already knows. That is what the seed will grow into. All you have to
Yeah.
do is to guide it, trim it. If He gave
Trim
you a
it.
mango
That's
seed, it
all.
will obviously
Yeah.
grow into a mango. So all you have to do is trim the mango, weed around it, make sure that it grows well, water it. It's just for us to guide, not for
Yeah.
us to want to be like maybe the children are a TV and then we have the remote and we are just controlling everything. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for such a wonderful um, lesson. I hope that the mothers also can learn something from it. Our comment section has been quiet. I believe that when people get so quiet, it's because they're actually listening so keenly that they don't even remember to type again. That's
I
mostly what
hope. I
happens
hope.
here. So they are listening so keenly that they don't, maybe they feel like typing, you have to think to type before you go and
Yeah.
type rubbish because you're not thinking, you're listening and typing. So now I have two more questions, like the last question and then a bonus question, which somebody asked me some few days ago. And I gave an
Yeah.
answer, but I want to get an answer from another mother. So
Yeah.
first, question number 10 is, you told me that you looked at our website, the Nyango website.
Yeah.
What do you think about the vision of Inyango? Do you feel like Inyango is actually solving a problem which is there? Or do you really feel like Inyango is supposed to be there? What do you think about Inyango generally?
When I met you and you told me about what you do, I felt very like it's a personal thing in my heart because I've been so passionate about motherhood from the moment I was a mother. And I think that I personally think that I've gone through some things that whenever I meet other mothers who are struggling, and I always share my experiences on how to cope on many things. So when I went to the website, I was very impressed with what I saw. I was very impressed with what I saw. Um, but the thing that I didn't see, if if a new person, maybe a mother, stumbles on the website, I think that like, without you telling the person about it, I think that the person will need to, how can I put it? The person
To
will need
contact
to
somebody before understanding what we're actually doing.
understanding what you're doing. Like the person will see the vision, but the person will not really understand the importance of Inyango in their lives.
Mhm.
You get,
Yeah, I get you.
yes. So I think that maybe Inyango has to create maybe another subject or another section where it's a little bit more interactive with
Yeah.
with new mothers that come on the platform. Like I don't know from what angle or from what direction.
No,
Yeah.
I get what you're trying to say. Like us creating a more interactive platform, which if you go down, it's just that normally our website, a website is mostly created for maybe someone who wants to do business with you to understand what you do. So
What
it
to
will
do?
not be that detailed. There we try to link our Facebook if you want to know more, because we get
Yeah.
on Facebook and you try to watch one, two, three of our videos and you get a clearer picture. And then
Yeah.
we link our YouTube there as well.
Yeah.
Yes. And if you get on our Facebook, you actually realize we have a WhatsApp group where we
Okay.
actually work with mothers every single day, like
Okay.
guide them,
Yeah.
make them understand perfectly why they actually need Nyango in their lives. Because
True.
as I said before, if you go online and you're researching about motherhood, you mostly see the white mothers. The things they'll tell you is what they have practiced in their environment, which works for them in their own environment. Now, for example, this thing about giving babies enema, if you go online, you will not see white mothers doing it. But then your traditional mother here in Africa is telling you give enema. Now, who do you ask? Because if you go online, you won't see answers. And your mother here is telling you, and maybe there are some risks you don't know fully about it. If there is a community where mothers can meet and you can ask all the type of questions that you think of, and nobody will judge you or feel like, no, you're being stupid or you're complaining too much. You realize that, right? So that's the whole impression. But we'll try to work on our website to be more understandable. Yeah. Because if somebody goes to the website, you're supposed to at least understand it more. So thank you so much for that feedback.
Yeah.
One question which someone asked me the other day was, is motherhood easy? Like, do the challenges that come with motherhood get easier if you're financially stable?
I'll say yes. Let me not lie.
Okay. Why?
Okay, because financially stable, maybe you can get a nanny. It's not everybody that can afford a nanny. And some people cannot. Some people will be able to afford nannies that will go and leave. Some people will be able to afford nannies that stay. And apart from financial stability, you can even have the money, but you don't get the good nanny.
That's the thing.
So it's not just the finances, but you really need to pray and everything. I don't know. But I think that if you're not worried about the fact that, hey, your baby doesn't lack food, or your baby doesn't lack water, the things that you're supposed to be giving a baby. If you can buy all the things that you want to buy for your baby to eat, if you can buy all the things, the basics of what your baby needs to eat, to drink, to be comfortable. If you feel that your baby is comfortable, you feel that you can afford that comfort for your baby, it really relieves a lot of stress.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, because the kind of stress that I might just be tired from work, maybe coming back home and she'll cry. Those kind of stresses. I've not had the stress of, hey, my baby didn't have food to eat, or I didn't have money to buy her a milk or a tea. I might think, I forget to buy it. I've not had by the grace of God, I've not had the stress of, hey, So I think that it's a little easier with financial stability. And also if you're organized. So I'll say financial stability, your organization, your sanitation is important. Because sometimes you have all of this going and sanitation around the baby is poor and the baby starts getting sick and all of these kind of things. All of that. So I think that financial stability adds or reduces your stress some way.
Yeah, that's true. When I listen to your point now, it makes a lot of sense. Because I felt like financial stability can actually even make you to get into more stress. For example, when from the 0 to 2 months, which you didn't have a nanny and your baby was okay, probably you couldn't go out, you couldn't go do the shopping which maybe you like to do. You have money, but you can't use it. That can just be another thing to stress about, right? But normally, money being there, if you know you can provide for your baby, it really takes off.
It really takes off a lot of stress. Yes. It really takes off a lot of stress.
Okay, so I finished all my questions for you. I'm so happy that you could finally join us. But I would like you to tell us a little bit more about BWAM. What inspired BWAM? And what products does BWAM deal with? Where exactly are you located if
All right.
someone wants to reach you?
Okay. BWAM. What inspired BWAM? Okay. I used to love makeup from right from university, but I never really thought I'm going to take it like as a business or something. But I used to have many people always compliment my soft makeup, like the time that I always got my skin right, or my makeup looks decent and stuff. But I really didn't still take it serious. So I left university and I was back in Yaoundé at the time. Then I visited working in Douala at some time, but I came back to Yaoundé. So online, I met there's this photographer that came across my profile, my personal profile. So BWAM didn't exist yet. So he came across my personal profile. Apparently, he was looking for models.
Okay.
So there's somebody else online that I don't know personally, but maybe the person has been following my pictures online, and the person saw that, hey, this person, check out this person. He can be a good model to you. So apparently the photographer just he writes a post on Facebook like in need of models, and this other individual that's online that I've never met personally but has been seeing
Thank you.
me comments on his picture that check out Bernice Bay.
Wow.
So the photographer reaches out to me. We make a rendezvous. We meet in Yaoundé. He left Douala. He comes to
Wow.
Yaoundé, and we met at a restaurant kind of place. So that day, I think it was Sunday. It was on a Sunday, regular Sunday makeup you wear. Makeup. I wasn't even having lashes, just my nude normal makeup. And I meet the guy, and he tells me that he wants me to be a model and stuff. And I had a very funny mentality about models in Cameroon. I feel like one,
Yeah.
they're underpaid and used. So most of the times they're underpaid and used.
Yeah.
So I really had a funny mentality about models. So I'm like, no, by the way, I'm short and I don't feel like I can really do this modeling thing. So he's like, by the way, I like your makeup. Who did your makeup? I'm like, I'm myself. He's like, okay, since I don't want to be his model, let me come and
Can
be
be
his
his makeup artist.
makeup artist. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not a makeup artist. I just do makeup on myself and on one or two people around that, my friends or family. And it's like, no, let me just come and try. We never know. So I carry 1 million things that I have for myself, and I go for a shoot like about a week or two after. My things are all over the place, and I do makeup for him for that shoot. And many people commented on his pictures that something has changed, that his makeup now looks better. So that's how I started doing makeup. And um, since there was this saying that people say, this saying that people go by, like "Ade Buam," like "Ade fine." I don't know if you remember that
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, I know your statement.
Yeah, so I think I don't know where it came from. I just like, hey, "Ade Buam" means I'm looking nice. So when I looked at the Buam thing, after a while I saw that I can just make Buam to mean beauty with Ayompe. So that's how the BWAM name came out. From there, I kept working with him for about a year. While working with him, I had other photographers reaching out to me, and I was working with other photographers. I had my first bride that year. Like it just went from on that, and I got my studio finally. This year, I launched my studio in March. So that's just how BWAM came about and existing now. So we are located at Gusto, before
Okay.
Transmaten Gusto, at Pharmacilla Reference Building. I'm at the second floor. So once you enter into my studio, you'll see fascinators and you see flowers. So we're into like interior decor, fascinators. You can also send a picture of whatever fascinator you've seen anywhere and you like. We can do it for you. So we do custom made fascinators. bridal fans now, bouquets, everything about wedding. We rent gowns, we sell gowns, we rent evening gowns, all of those things. Jewelry, we do many things. So that's one. That's one.
That's
That
great. Like Guam has a very beautiful story to it, and today
I
Guam
know.
is a beautiful brand. Like when I look at your makeup, I'm like, wow. Because most times when I look at makeup, I hardly wear heavy makeup because
Yeah,
makeup just makes most people look older than their age.
true,
And I
true.
really hate that about it. So I draw my brows and I'm gone.
And you're gone.
But
Yeah.
I'm sure going to visit WAM Studios any of
We
these
are waiting.
days.
We are waiting.
Okay, it was so nice having you around.
Thank you. Thank
And
you. Thank
thank you
you.
for
Thank you so
sharing your
much.
motherhood story and thank you for sharing with
All right.
us the little things you know. It's always
Thank you.
important for mothers to share their little experiences because I believe that there is always some mother somewhere struggling with something that a mother
Yeah.
sharing her experience could just
Yeah.
help. So that will be all for now. This was a really long session. It's been long.
Better
I had
than
this kind of
me.
long session
Crying
before.
baby.
Please kiss your baby for us.
I
Tell her we love
will.
her so
Let's do
much.
it on
That
my face.
should continue growing with good health and everything that
Amen.
is going to make mommy happy and daddy happy as well. And we pray that she can actually achieve her purpose in life. Happy birthday, happy,
Amen.
happy, happy, gracious birthday to her.
Amen. Thank you. Birthday celebration is
Okay,
tomorrow, so there's a lot of work that I have to do. Even my hair, I've not even done my hair yet. I have to do my hair
I
this
can
night. Oh.
imagine.
This night I did that, I see me. I have to go and do my hair.
Don't worry, we're going to leave you now so you can go on with
All
your
right.
birthday preparation.
All right. Bye bye.
Okay, have a nice evening. Bye bye. Okay, thank you, mommy, so much for your time. If there's anyone still there, please can you leave a comment? I'm saying bye bye now. Like it's the real bye bye now. Okay? The first one was a fake bye bye. I was saying bye bye, and then we got our guest with us. I hope you could pick something from her. She dropped a lot of important points, which, if you could pick something from there, it's going to make your motherhood game improve in one way or the other. Always do some research, always read, and it's going to help you motherhood in one way or the other. That was our guest, and we hope to have more mothers on our live show to share their motherhood experiences from time to time. So it's going to be goodbye from me. Thank you for staying till now, and God bless you. Have a nice evening and a beautiful weekend.